Hi everyone, this is Jeanette and welcome to my crafty life. Today I have a very quick video for you showing how I used two Cricut cartridges that I've had for a while to create this fun and simple Easter layout. Here's the left side and here's the right side. You will probably notice right away this very large die cut circle that I have here. I created these matching circles on both sides of my layout using the Accent Essentials cartridge that came with my Cricut Expression machine. This particular circle is on page 52 in the manual, and I cut it at 10 inches. I also saved the cutouts that came from one of the inner circles because I thought they would make wonderful petals for flowers, and I used them as mats for my title as well. I'll show you right over here. That brings me to the other cartridge I use that I've had for a while, and that's the Pooh font set, Winnie the Pooh and Friends. I originally bought this cartridge because I really fell in love with the baby Pooh images. But ironically, what I use the cartridge for the most is the fonts. There are several fonts on this cartridge. There is the marker font, wood, marker shadow, wood shadow, shadow, and honey pot. And the ones that I use the most are the marker, which I used for this layout, and the wood, which I use for camping and summer camp layouts. It's perfect. The other tools that I used for this layout were Stampin' Up! Punch. I love this punch. I don't think they make it anymore. It has 3 small flowers that are punched out every time you use it. 2 EK Success flower punches that I've had pretty much since I started scrapbooking back in 2001. A Marvy Uchida flower punch, very small flowers, and a Punch Bunch punch. Try to say that fast 3 times. I also used, I don't have it out right now, but for the year 2010, I used another Stampin' Up! Scalloped circle punch. I cut my title at 1 1/4 inches, and I used glitter paper. Now, the trick to using glitter paper is you need to set your blade depth on your Cricut machine to 6, and you need to multi-cut it. I found that 2 times was enough. You might need to use 3. It depends on your machine. I had the pressure all the way up to maximum, and I had the speed at 4. I did not have it all the way up to 5. When I cut letters out, I try not to cut too fast because sometimes the letters will get mangled. But 2 multi-cuts work just fine for the heavy glitter paper. I also, I don't know if you can see it, if you can see the shine there, I think you got it there. In the year, the 10, underneath is regular patterned paper or scrap that I had, but on top is, I'll show you actually what it is. It's acetate, and what I do is whenever I get something that comes in a blister pack like this, especially if it has a really flat, smooth portion to it, I save them. and I cut them with my Cricut. I don't use the deep cut blade, I use the regular blade. And again, I put my multi-cut on. Sometimes it'll cut with 2 passes, sometimes it takes 3. But it works just fine, and I don't have any problem with my blade cutting paper afterwards. It doesn't ruin the blade or anything. But what I did was I cut the acetate out and I just layered it right over the tin. So just a little tip for you, a little trick that I use. It adds some shine and dimension. And to add even more dimension, I don't know if you can see it, but I layered, I would say about 5 or 6 of the flowers that I punched out right here. This is a simple layout. It was a lot of fun to make. I did make quite a few mistakes in lining things up and putting things straight, but whoever invented undo is probably one of the greatest people alive. For those of you who don't know what it is, this is undo, and it is my salvation when it comes to scrapbooking and card making. It will unstick just about anything, and it will not damage your photos, it will not damage your paper. And usually there's still adhesive left on the back so that when it all dries, you can re-stick it in the correct place. Another little tip for you. Thanks for joining me today on My Crafty Life. This is Jeanette, aka Scrap Janny, at www.scrapjanny.blogspot.com. Have a great day. Bye now.